everybody. I know it's early. I know we may not have a lot of spectators here at the 6 a.m. hour on this Saturday morning, September 27th. So let me just do the intro. Good morning. 6:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Saturday, September 27th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I thank everybody for tuning in, whether you're watching during the live itself, whether you end up tuning in after the live. I'm happy to see there's 4 of you that were waiting before this live started, even at this early hour. So welcome in. A lot to talk about this morning. Bitcoin dominance massively oversold. So we're going to discuss this a lot right now. I'm going to share this to the station just in case YouTube doesn't. I noticed when I did my short, it didn't even reach my son's phone or my phone, so it's going to be interesting to see who actually reaches this. But we'll do the best we can. But anyhow, if you're watching this after, welcome in. If you're watching this during the live, obviously good morning. So I did a little look around the market, and I've been looking. I know we're a little green in some areas, but it's overwhelmingly obvious that Bitcoin dominance is massively oversold. Now, whether that means we're going to have a drop in the entire crypto market and Bitcoin's going to tumble a little bit less than the altcoins and the rest, or if Bitcoin's getting ready for some kind of reversal and the altcoins are going to go slower, that's what we're going to discuss here. And we're going to have a very tidy group here this morning. And I see 15 out of 21 of you hit that like button. That is incredible. As we see, Frisky Auto says it's 3 a.m. in California, or California. I'm glad that you got the notification, my friend. That's awesome. Yeah, it's 6:09 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here, but I woke up at 2. I went to bed. I was watching college football, but I had an instinct my son was going to wake up about 2. I thought he was going to wake up around 2. Julie set her alarm for 4. I went to bed a little earlier, but he went to bed at like, I don't know, 6:37, and he got up very happy at 2 a.m. and he's really happy right now. Got one of his feedings, so I said, the heck with it, I'm starting my day. So once Julie got up, I went for like a 25-minute walk, got like 3,000 steps, showered into this, and now I want to do the live. And then I'm going to go to the farmer's market early this morning at about 7:15, 7:30 after we get done with this live. But let's make the best of this morning. Let's make the best of this. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I was also thinking that maybe it could get some other people in here, maybe that were up late over other parts of the world or early in some places. Afternoon somewhere in the Netherlands, hopefully. Switzerland is 12:09. I'm on my work break, luckily. Excellent. That Julie even said if I did it now that I might find some. She even said Switzerland by name, which is funny. That you commented from Switzerland. This is awesome. Do I meditate? I don't sit down and meditate, but like while I'm going through my workouts, I separate myself from existence, basically. So that's my form of meditation within my workouts. And I do them Monday through Friday. Last week, Julie would say I'm bad. I did it 6 days, but I'm not going to do anything today and tomorrow. I kind of cut my hand. It's not horrible, but it's at the indent of like the inner part of your, like when you get a paper cut. I was moving something, it was rather heavy, and that little lining cut me, but it closed up nicely. It's not bad, but I need to take a couple days off. But yeah, let's get back to the charts. But that's my form of meditation. I should do it deeper though, but I do, especially spiritually as well. I try to get lost. But Emerson, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRB 589 Moon Badge. I love it. Thank you so much for that. Said, haha, almost time to go to sleep for me. Hello, friends. I'm glad I was able to do this before you went to sleep. Campbell Vision, good afternoon from the Netherlands. We've got Frisco Auto in from California, the communist state over there, as he put in the comment. And I be killing it, good morning as well. So my biggest issue right now with what I'm seeing in the market is the fact Bitcoin dominance it's grabbing us by the old testicular fortitude this morning, folks. And for the few of you that are up this early right now, as on the weekend, we give grace. I don't expect until like 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time minimum, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for most to be up and starting to become a little bit of aware of what's going on. A lot of people out drinking the night before. I don't like to do any of that stuff, so I always wake up nice and happy. Well, maybe not happy, but I wake up nice and ready to go on Saturdays and Sundays. But as Julie said, I've been extra lovey the last couple of days, so I like that. I don't know why. Maybe not as lovey to the audience, but at least lovey in general. I think I've been good to the audience. But XRP right now, if we had a push-up, it would be about 291 if it wanted to test that area. 4 hourly gives us a lot of opportunity here still, so there's a lot of opportunity there. But let's go into the Bitcoin dominance. Let's not beat around the bush here. Bitcoin dominance right now, it's pretty flat on the day. And there's a short term. It had a little bit of what looks like could be a little head and shoulders here, maybe. But if you look at this from a realistic standpoint, oversold in the 4 hourly, which that in itself, I'm like, you know, the 4 hourly goes so volatile, that's not really the big deal. Then you go into the daily and you're like, well, the daily's pretty overbought here. So that gives us what we were saying yesterday, the opportunity to have a little consolidation here in the Bitcoin dominance to retest the higher levels, and I'll show you. But, or the lower levels for the bullish divergence that's happening, and the golden cross that's starting. But it also allows the back test for the altcoins, crypto in general, like where we were showing with XRP, maybe to 291. Now that's not a guarantee, but that's if we were going to go down that route. But then you get into the weekly for Bitcoin dominance, and that is where I'm like, holy shit. Just as much as the daily is overbought, is as much as that weekly is oversold. Like, I don't remember the last time Bitcoin dominance was that flat. I think it was back here in 21 for that long. I mean, I'm being serious. I don't remember the last time the weekly dominance has been this low at the 2 level for this long. It started in August, and now we're almost into October. February into May was the longest over here. And then we had a parabolic spike in 21. Even in 22, when we had this little stretch here, we had a parabolic spike again that lasted several years. I mean, this is interesting because we have not seen Bitcoin dominance this oversold and long. Does anybody else see what I'm speaking of? It's a pretty remarkable feat we're at. Look how much we were selling out in the weekly. It almost is begging. It's begging. Good morning, Set Apart Spirit and Parker Hildebrandt. Welcome in. How about gold-backed crypto? Any worthwhile? You know, the one that it's not technically gold-backed, but it's a real-world asset crypto. And I'm going to continue to point this out to the audience. And yes, it's not in my zone right now because I firmly believe Epic should come back down because it's in discovery. It should backtest the former breakout at some point. Now, there's no guarantee. 168 could very well be the support structure. Let me rephrase. But I still think that it should come down here and backtest that 95 area in real time because it's going to want to backtest this structure. The reason why I'll continue to say Epic, just over 30 million total tokens. Ripple is invested in it, backing the technology. It's basically a hybrid / beta test. Because what Epic is it's a ecosystem that's being built to allow corporations, institutions, and exchanges to unilaterally, in real time, move real world assets digitally. So that's the one that I'm paying attention to, but beware, because I still think there's a rather significant drop. And yes, we were able to, if you were watching, you could have rode it from $1.70 all the way up to $3. I did not. But that was an opportunity. I kind of kicked myself for not paying attention to it when it came to the support. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. I'm firmly convinced that I want to make a buy-in somewhere around 95 to $1, somewhere when it hits that range. So that's what I'm looking at. And the lack of tokens, the evolving ecosystem. It's not popular amongst a lot of people because it's not well known. But it does have a lot of ability within the XRP ledger as well. So, you know, I tend to try to stay in the same space. So I think that's one worth watching. Now, as far as being gold-backed, there's going to be digitized gold-backed tokens. But, I mean, we're in the infant stages there. So I'll definitely be talking about more of that as we go. I'm glad that you appreciated that, Truther. Thank you so much. Tanya, welcome in, love, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 years. with the XRP Diamond Hands badge. You got that Diamond Hands badge. Look at that. I knew you were close. Wow. Thank you so much for so many years of support, Tanya. I should be sleeping, but I woke up at 2. My son woke up. I did get about 3 hours of sleep, though. So I feel really good. I'm not sleeping today until, you know, Saturday night now when everybody goes back to bed tonight. So I'm going to have a nice long... Well, it's going to be 10 hours awake before I can eat. But I've already killed about 4 hours and 17 minutes of that. But Trading with J-Ride, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 4 years with the XRP Phoenix badge. Holy schmogoles. Mike B, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your second month with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. I appreciate 40 of you here this early morning. I love it. Thank you so much. Like, I can talk a lot closer to the audience and read everything in real time when there's not hundreds of people in here. Just it gets a little crazy. Epic up 1.8% at 0.19 cents. What do you mean, Truther? At 19 cents. But anyhow, so that's the biggest thing like this morning if you're tuning in is I'm looking at that Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is begging for some kind of exhaustion here to the upside. Because what ends up happening, folks, and you know this better than anybody watching me, when you have a straight down drop like this, we drop 14%, we're going to back test at least some way. Now, whether or not it ends up, and I'll show you the two areas, whether or not it ends up being 62.7%, I put 60.2, oh, Kraken and Epic, for some reason their price, that's, I don't even know if that's the right Epic token, because that's not the price. That is not the price. If I'm in, yeah, that's Epic, oh, Epic Cash. That's what it shows on Epic. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Classic says I've made more off miners than crypto, and you should. You should have, my friend. You're speaking to the choir. You're speaking to the choir, my friend. This is the transition even this community made. 9 months ago, I put a video out why I sold 75% of my crypto and turned focus to gold and silver. That was in January, the peak of the bull market in crypto. The bottom of the miners. And right before, gold went up almost 40% since then, and silver's up almost 60%. That was my transition. That was my transition. And there was for all the rest of the community, too. And then I said, 8 months ago, I said I tried to warn everyone. That's when Bitcoin was going down, and it did target. It ended up hitting down there, but there's a lot more to go with all of this. But yeah, you're preaching to the choir, my friend. That's exactly what I was thinking. I've done very well off of miners myself. Not everybody likes to talk about them, but yeah, I have a deep love for miners, gold, silver, as I've been building precious metals for years. After gold got to 2,000 and silver got to 26, I just focused, especially starting in January of this year, on miners again. And every single miner right here I own, from Dolly Varden all the way up to Barrett, and they're up. They're doing great. But that's not for today's discussion. Today's discussion is so we can look deeper. Because I have a more confined audience, I almost would ask anybody if they wanted to call in and have a discussion here live on the air with just a little bit of people here. Does anybody want a phone call? Does anybody want to call in who's a fan of the show? It doesn't even need to be about some bullshit. It could just be, we can talk about the market. Tango, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. I actually have a mission today. Julie sent me over, she wants me to buy some apple cider from the farmer's market because we've been making our own homemade bagels, homemade breads and everything. She wants to try homemade donuts, but the cool thing is the bagels, in the store when you buy them, they're about 350 to 500 calories a piece. 350 is generous. When you buy them like from a bagel place like New York Bagel or Lane Bagel or anywhere you can go, when we made them ourselves, now we do Bagel Sunday, they're 178 calories per bagel. So basically I can eat 2.5 for every one I can eat. And the carbs are way less. We made biscuits, and when we would get them from like a restaurant, they're 250 calories per biscuit. We make them at home, very clean ingredients. 41 calories per biscuit. It's insane. Oh, no, Truther, I've already done calls on the show. I've already done calls on the show. I've done 2 calls on the show. What I do is I put it through speakerphone. I give a number to call, and then I usually have the person email me, and then I send it. I'll have them call me the number. Mosey here, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. I don't like sourdough tango, and I'm a horrible Italian for saying it. I hate sourdough. Can't stand it. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like the taste of it. But that's just me. Like I said, we use clean ingredients. So with our bread, it's literally, we try to buy it from a farm. And if we can't, we use, I like red mill if I can't get it from a farm. It tastes the best to me. They use very little ingredients. But me and Julie, we literally use, yeast, the bread flour. And then if we want to, it depends what we put in it. Like we did poppy seed and a tiny bit of coarse sea salt. Things like that. But it's crazy less calories, guys. It's insane. It almost makes you want to bash your head through the wall. Oh, I should like sourdough, Tanya, and tango, I promise. I'm a horrible Italian for it. I've been ridiculed my whole life. You're an Italian and you don't eat sourdough? That's the name of the game. I'm sorry about that. My bad. I'm also Lebanese, so, you know, it must be that Middle Eastern. Let's see, I actually eat Ezekiel bread. It's supposed to be one of the... Ooh. That's interesting. I've heard a lot about. I'm gonna have to look more into that, the ingredient list, so that I know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's incredible the difference in calories. Like I learned that too. Like make my own protein drinks. Most protein, you'll buy it, and you want to take the isolate. Don't buy all the other bullshit. Just buy the isolate, the protein isolate. It can be whey isolate, but take the isolate. But when I would do my own protein, when I would just drink it, it was like, I don't know, close to 400 calories. It'd be 30, 25 grams of protein, but then you'd have 25 grams of fucking carbs, all this fucking sugar, 20 grams. Then they would always add the biggest bunch of bullshit and all these supposed what's healthy for you. Let's put some Splenda. Let's put some artificial sugar in there. No, give me some cane sugar if you want to use sugar. If you want to use sugar, use cane sugar. There's no problem. It's fine. But don't give me that artificial nonsense. So then I started making my own protein. I use protein isolate. It's got like 140 calories, I think, for the protein, but it's 25 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, no sugar, and the only ingredient is the isolate. It's unsweetened. That's it. And then I mix it with, because I like to use collagen peptides, because it's got a lot of your essential vitamins or essential minerals and amino acids. And then, no, that's minerals, amino acids, I don't remember. Got so much shit. And then I use a little bit of peanut butter powder. I don't use peanut butter anymore because it's too filled with all the nonsense. So peanut butter powder is literally peanuts. And it's got 8 grams of protein, very little carbs, and there's only 60 calories per serving. I might throw 2 servings of that in there for, you know. So between all of it, you're talking about like 340 calories, close to 35 to 40 grams of protein, which the body's not going to process at all, but it allows me to recoup before a workout and after. But then the carbs are less than 10 grams, maybe about 10. You still want a little bit of carbs. And then there's no sugar. I don't use sugar. I don't add any sweetener. The only thing I'll add sometimes, and it's 10 calories per serving, I'll use cocoa powder. Or vanilla cocoa bean, I'm sorry. Or vanilla bean powder, not cocoa powder. Vanilla bean powder. But it's just doing all of that. It's the same thing as when you do charts. I know it sounds stupid. What a transition. But it's the same thing when you do charts. Are you going to learn how to read the chart yourself? Or are you going to use fancy indicators to read it for you and get caught up with all the nonsense that they put in there? Are you going to read the chart yourself or watch somebody else and get caught up with all the added ingredients? Sometimes you don't want to see it all. I'm sorry about the ingredients and all this stuff, but you know, I'm trying to teach you what I know. We are full-time travelers and eat all natural. Or we are I thought you said time travelers. I thought you said we were full-time travelers at first. I'm like, well, it's nice that your stomach's full. You said, but we are full-time travelers and eat all natural all the way to the grass-fed beef. Same. I pay way too much for free-range chickens and, you know, beefs that are farm, all the stuff. But I do. But Mike, I commend you, especially traveling and things like that. That's excellent. Excellent. And thanks for being in Tom's for your second month with Does Alice Crypto News. Can't believe I actually thought that you said time travel. Well, maybe we are all time travelers. The Ezekiel bread is in the freezer at Walmart. Looks like any other bread of loaf. It's frozen because no preserves. It's organic. I stored it. Excellent. Excellent. I'll have to look into that. Thank you so much for that, Truther. I always like to look at new things. I haven't bought bread, though, in a long time because we've been making it. So I'd be more interested to see the ingredients so I could try to make it. Might have to pick up one of those loaves. I haven't been to Walmart in years. But, you know, you can find gems there. I used to find a healing, when Julie first got injured with her stitches and stuff on her foot when she had that bad car accident. The only thing that would work was colloidal silver, and it was this, a colloidal silver, not something you would take in your mouth, but like a wound gel. And nobody sold it, and it was at Walmart for some reason, but it was at the very top corner of a shelf where you couldn't even see it. And it was hidden, and I found it one day in there because I looked everywhere for her because I used it one time when I was younger, and I had a very bad cut, and it closed it after stitches, and it was incredible. She got all this stuff from the doctor for like 8 months. It wouldn't work. Kept busting open. I gave her it, and like 3 days later, it was sealed shut after the surgery, and the stitches and everything were. It was crazy. Yeah, I buy the pasture-raised eggs too as well at the farmer's market. It's hard, though, because the farmers markets are being infiltrated by fake food. Let me tell you. We're going off topic here, but it's being infiltrated. Oh, yeah, Emerson, especially the colloidal silver wound. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And thank you for being in Tom's Army. Speaking of unbelievable, for over 2 years with the XRB 589 Moon badge. But, wait a minute, what was it? We'll go well. I don't remember what I was saying now, damn it. I was saying something else. But we went off topic. Oh, the eggs. Yeah, I get them from the farmer's market. They're like $8 to $10 as well. Yeah, but that's from a market, a farm. And then when we get them from the farmer's market, I also get the eggs too. Oh yeah, we've been getting them from Overweiss though, from their farm, which is, they're excellent. They're excellent. But I forgot we've been doing that the last couple times now. But the farmers markets are being infiltrated. They got fake fruits that are coming from California, and all these people claiming they're raising them, but they got wax outside on them. Don't eat that crap, please. And I pointed it out, and I forced this one stand that's a big stand inside this market. You know who you are in Royal Oak if you're watching. And they have to put out now that it's not farmed. It's from like, well, I guess at some point it's farmed, but they had to put down that it's from California and it's not from Michigan. They're perpetrating it, and they're giving you farmers pricing. Like, how dare them give you it 3 times overpriced just to send it in and being on sale from like China and Mexico and Chile and fucking all this other bullshit places. I once bought apples from this guy, and it had so much wax on the outside. I threw them all away, but there was so much wax on the outside, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was like I was peeling a wax candle as an apple. It was disgusting. But there's also another guy there who's actually from a farm, and he's got beautiful apples, beautiful stuff. Oh my God, when you find the right stuff, it's beautiful. That's why I started my own stuff in the backyard. I've got 4 apple trees that are going to take a few more years, 2 peach trees, 2 cherry trees, 2 pear trees. I already said 4 apples. We've got our walnut tree. What else? Did I say everything? I said everything. The lemon and the lime. Oh yeah, we have a lemon and lime tree, but they have to come inside. I don't think the lemon tree is going to survive, but the lime tree is doing. I mean, it'll survive, but animals like to eat it. But the lime tree nobody did because they grow big thorns, so they know how to protect themselves. Big thorns. Like, you walk by them and they cut you just by looking at them. No, you can't trust anybody. That's the problem. Ooh, the Amish markets would be fantastic. Good morning, John X from Ohio, the defending national champion down in Buckeye land. Looking good this year. Looking pretty good. Big Ten's got a shot here to triple Three-peat. 1 year Oregon's going to win it. I know it's been decades and they can't seem to do it, but 1 year I think Dan Lanning, because he's willing to pay out his ass, I think they're going to do it 1 year. Big Ten's looking good. Silver dressings magic. That's interesting. That's a good one, John. Yeah, set apart spirit. I don't have a huge yard. I have, what is mine, a 9,000 square foot lot. It's not huge. I think I have 0.2 acres. So I have 20% of an acre basically. But I make the most of it. Like I legitimately do a lot. I even put my, and I know it's not like the sexiest thing in the world, but I know a lot of you, I told you about the little gym that I put together. And it's not the sexiest thing, but I had an idea. I didn't want to go to the gym anymore and pay the $60 a month. And I needed a pull down machine. And that you can switch it to the bottom as well to make it a bar on the bottom as well. But it's also a rowing machine, which I know a lot of you know the benefits of rowing. But then I've got my Olympic bar. I've got my dumbbells. I've got a lot of weights. I put them to the side. Helps keep the down. But I put underneath, because it's all dirt over here, I put underneath, and this is all like what you would see in a gym where you snap the pieces together on top of like the actual carpet and stuff. But I put that all around and even on the side. But that was just a big dirt. So I made it winterproof. It's galvanized steel on the inside. So I paid a couple $100 for a good one. And people use it as a carport. So I just did it myself. You know, I just put it together myself. And I've been working out in it for 2 weeks. I fucking love it. I even put a little system out here so that it doesn't get knocked down. I put it in the ground and over the top. I'm good at tying ropes into pulley systems for some reason. I think it's from how I used to tie fishing line when I was a kid. But that took me about a week and a half to put that vision. Tango. I haven't done multiple 72 hours, but what I've done for 4 years, now almost 4 years without exception, since 2 weeks before, or since just in October of 23, or yeah, 23. So November of 20. Is it 23 or 22? I can never remember. No, 22. Since October of 22, I've been 16 hours on or off, no eating for 16 hours. I only eat 8 hours a day. So I do intermittent fast, and I have not taken a break from it in almost 4 years. It's just a way of living. I eat at 12 o'clock, sometimes 12:30 or 1, and I eat until 8 to 9, depending on when I start. So I haven't eaten since about 8:30 last night, and I won't eat until 12, even though I woke up at 2. Oh, I love it, dude. I went from, and I work out, and I started working out again 3 years ago religiously, lifting weights and everything. And fitness, my walking and all that good stuff, and eating way better, healthier. And I've gone from, since I started the show, I was about 196 pounds. And now I'm about 174. But I am built, a lot of muscle, cut down a lot on the fat. I went from my pant size, I wear a 34 now, but they don't really fit. I have to wear belts. Julie's like, you need to buy a 32. I refuse to acknowledge that. So I still say 34. When I was younger, I was like a 44 waist because I was 265 in high school. So even being 196 when I started doing this wasn't crazy big, but I was fatter, bigger face. I didn't have any muscle tone because I hadn't lifted weights in a couple years from injuries. And then I said, the hell with this, no more excuses. So I've done it for, aside for an 8-week stretch of lifting weights back in 23 when I broke my forearm, or my forearm, my hand, my finger was severely broken. Which I healed it. See, I healed good. Self-healed because I don't have, but anyhow, but yeah, it's been a journey. I love it. Mental clarity out the ass now. But there's 3 key things you got to take too. You got to take moringa. You got to take L-theanine. I'm dead serious. Like, you have to take L-theanine for the brain. And moringa. Like, those 2 things, if you're not taking, do yourself a favor and buy some L-theanine and moringa. Or moringa. Moringa for anxiety and all that other stuff. Stress. You know, just the like your body and your mind won't shut up. Take some moringa and L-theanine quiets it. It locks your brain in. If you look up those 2, I'm telling you, it locks you in. I don't drink coffee. The only caffeine I drink is with, well, it's not technically drinking, but it's in my I take it in the morning. It's 100 milligrams of caffeine, but it's got my essential minerals. I mean, my amino acids, I'm sorry. Essential minerals come from the collagen peptides. The amino acids come from this. Oh my God, I've never felt better. It is the he shed, absolutely. Absolutely. It would be nice to beat that team up north as well with the championship this year. Oh, John X, I have a conspiracy. You should have beat us last year, but you lost on purpose. And I'll take 4 years in a row, believe me, after losing 15 straight years. But I believe you guys lost and Ryan Day pulled a fast one. He said, we can't beat Michigan. I know it's a tarnishment, but we can't beat Michigan this year. Not because we can't beat them. We refuse to beat them. And my logic was they did not want to play Oregon in the Big Ten Championship. Not because they would have lose. They would have kicked the shit out of them just like the playoff. But they had a game plan because now you play a third time. Dan Lanning gets to go back to the drawing board. And then it would have been an apples-to-apples game again. So I believe Ohio State lost on purpose. Didn't want to play in the Big Ten Championship against them because they didn't want to give up what they had come up with a beautiful game plan as we've seen and kick the shit out of them. And they knew that was their best path. Why would you want to play a team 3 times in 1 year? So I believe that's my conspiracy, and I said it when we beat them last year because it's impossible to lose with a team with a quarterback with no arms or eyes and lose to a team that legitimately had no offense. And Ohio State's offense, as you've seen in the playoff, couldn't be stopped. It's hard for me to believe that they only scored 13 against us and couldn't even hit a wide-open guy. They couldn't hit Yokozuna if he was wide open. They couldn't hit him at all. So I believe that's the conspiracy and allowed them to win a title. I still think they would have won it either way, probably. But you never know if you have to play Oregon a third time in the playoff instead of being, you know, the second time in the playoff and being in the champion. That's my conspiracy. Oh, it absolutely helps lower cortisol as well. Ashwanda, yes. I love ashwanda. Moringa and L-theanine. But I love ashwagandha. That's a good appetite, not necessarily just a suppressant, but it helps your metabolic rate move up, and it helps you feel less hungry. It's true. It is true. Julie knows how I love ashwagandha. It's within I have it within my zinc that I take. It's got ashwagandha in the spray. Love it. But yeah, John, I think Ohio State did. People are mad because they're like, you're just justifying what? We beat them. I'm not justifying shit. We were a shitty team and we beat them. I'm just saying that's what happened. Tom, would you be willing to speak to the bigger picture of alt season? September is notoriously bearish, as you have said in the past. Do you still see a market wide? Absolutely. Absolutely. I was convinced September was going to be red, and it is going to end up red, big time. But I think as we get into October is when we start to either bottom out and start to reverse a little bit. They say it's Uptober, but generally we start Downtober. And then we end up finishing at the end of it as Uptober because we start rounding. And I still think on the charts mid-November, it still points to a move up in mid-November like usual. Say it one more time. Oh, you have L-theanine. There's a little line in between it as well. And moringa. And ashwagandha. Well, somebody else said ashwagandha, so I won't say it. But these are the two, like, for main and mental power. L-theanine and moringa. And I'm not a financial advisor, nor and this do I advise you to do this, and this is for entertainment purposes only. Hey, I was a certified dietitian and personal trainer, so that is technically false information. I was technically a certified dietitian in my gym. Not actively dietitian, but my gym was stupid anyhow. Bailey's, and then I did a short stint at Powerhouse, but there was too many steroids. So I never went back. I said, this is crazy. The steroidal people wanted me to lift weights with and show them how to lift, and they're fucking 10 times my size. What do you mean you want me to show you how to lift weights? I could never be your size. Look at you. You're like the fucking Hulk. You got so much shit in you that those people are probably dead, unfortunately, now. You know who was one of my favorite steroidal guys was Rick Panini. He died like in 2017 or 15. It's sad. But he was awesome. He told the truth about steroids. Like, isn't it funny we see all the steroidal people? Mike O'Hara and all these other people. Oh, natural. Oh, man. If you could only see what that blood toxicity says. And, you know, Michael Hearn could be cool, but he's such a liar. So are a lot of all these other schlubs. Come on, guys. If you really think you're getting that big. Just like all of sports athletes now take steroids. NFL, NBA, all of them. All of them. They just don't get in trouble for it now because they got different ways of testing. Oh, magnesium and D3, very important. Take those every day, too. Yeah, it's built into one of them. It's in the one with the L-theanine. Oh, yeah, I do double compaction for Julie. I have to make sure Julie gets her vitamins in strategic ways that she doesn't even know she's getting them. Hey, Julie, take this L-theanine, even though it has some elderberry and magnesium and some other crap in it that you need. But yeah, I like to take all of it. I take my iodine 3 drops every day under the tongue for radiation. I take a lot of stuff. LeBron James Alamati. That he doesn't take roids. Yeah, LeBron's hairline entered the chat at 22. Hey, you're exactly. Julie, do I take vitamin K2? Yeah, with what, my D3? Thank you. You should take vitamin K2 with D3. K2, I believe, is vitamin D3 is the, what is it, 1,000 or vitamin D. I get all the numbers mixed up, but yeah, K3 is definitely.
D3, K2.
Yeah, set apart. I hope you didn't take too much anabolic stuff as a bodybuilder. That's the worst part of that. Unfortunately. I love this conversation. Yes, do your own research for sure. But whoever said that about the K2 is on point. Lonzo, thank you for adding that. That is on point. Just like you shouldn't take zinc without vitamin D3 because it helps proliferate it. It helps to proliferate. So when you take vitamin D3, and I shouldn't talk like this, but it perforates the volume. So it helps proliferate. So the volume doesn't expand. Or I can't talk about this, I'll get banned, but the sickness won't expand. It can't get in deeper. Hey, we went off topic here a little bit, but it's been a good topic. It's already been 37 minutes. That's it for real. It's almost time to go to the farmer's market. You said it opens at 7?
15 minutes.
Look at that. I'm going to be the first person. Well, not first person. I'm going to get there by 7:15, 7:30. Dr. Tom laughing my ass off. That's what someone said. Hey, Tom sounds better in front of everything. Let's see. What could it be? Tom's Flowers. Right? Flower Tom. Herbal Tom. Tom's Herbs. Bagel Tom. Pretzel Tom. Tom's Pretzels. You did not totally steal a health nut. Good for you. Good for you. I think the most illogical information ever given was that you need roids to be a bodybuilder. No, just to be freakishly big, like some of the unnatural bodybuilders. But there was a time, look at the old school bodybuilding competitions. They're not crazy.
I take THC supplements.
Ooh, THC supplements. I approve that message. Do I take Oh, no. You don't need Viagra. When you know how to take proper supplementation, the least of your problems is needing a little bit of Viagra. It's actually the opposite problem. You might actually have too much confidence. Doesn't need Viagra. Like somebody said, confidence. No, you don't need Viagra, Gen X, when you do it properly. You got so much testosterone boiling through. Look, I'm 41 and I'm still so energetic. I don't need to. And please, don't take tests and all that other crap either. They're trying to get you to take my testosterone, or don't take any of that crap. Because once you start taking it, the truth is you always have to take it. I even seen somebody Rick Panini, as a matter of fact, Panera, or whatever the hell his name was. Well, rest in peace, sir. But he's like, yeah, so it shrinks your balls, but I've never met a woman that cares about shrunken balls. And I'm like, well, I wouldn't really want to be walking around with acorns myself, but it is what it is. Don't we like this early morning talk? 6:48, it's on. People are going to wake up and watch this and be like, What the fuck? This is the best combos I've ever I'm watching. It's true. See, we have some smart people. Tango, taking testosterone shuts down testosterone production. It's true.
Mr. T.
No, Mr. T is. Yeah, the funny thing about Mr. T, everybody who always calls me Mr. T on the live is always funny because that might be a special name for Mr. T by Julie. If you catch my drift. That's why she's laughing. Well, that's my pet name. He's Mr. T. Oh, it's so funny. So, like, one teacher, when we were at school, T school, the teacher said, "Hello, Mr. T." And me and Julie were just dying on the inside.
My aunt said it was one of
Yep. Who said it?
They called little T Mr.
Oh, yeah, and then, And then they call little T Mr. T, and it's like, he did come from Mr. T. As a matter of fact. Yes, yes. So, sometimes we laugh, and it's an inside joke. But what's not an inside joke is XDC. Now people are really going to come in and say, what the hell is going on this morning? This is what happens when I wake up at 2 a.m. But look at XDC. I think XDC is continuing this trend since we are talking about crypto. I think. But I mean, it's still that 7-1 area. And it's in that, it's still progressively moving down in there. I think it's ahead of a lot of the market. So, what a morning. We got some good laughs. Bitcoin at 109,453. I guess it's imperative to see if Bitcoin's going to take the up route, which, if it does, it could come all the way back up here towards 115.3. But I mean, in the 4-hourly, it could really get stuck here. 110,600. We got that dot cross. This next layer would bring us down near 102. And this looks like a right shoulder that could start to, and that's why I put it down here so it could. Mr. T's book a safe word. Oh, it is indeed, indeed. Sorry, we talked away 30% of our audience with all of that, but hey, the ones who stayed are troopers. And you know something you didn't know before. So does this rising wedge play out here? Does this rising wedge play out? Because if it does, we have a technical target of 81,505. 91,495 is a gap area of a fair value gap from some time ago. Set apart joined an XDC node. Ooh, that's pretty interesting. That's interesting. Actually, that's pretty cool. Ethereum in the 4-hourly volumes just tanking down. Massively overbought. Ooh, that looks horrible. MACD at least has a little bit of a flow. Death cross playing out in the 4-hourly, trying to look for that rejection. Daily's oversold. Still playing down a little bit, but this is where we could get that 4,110. There's just so many different things that can happen. Weekly, again, though, is horrible. I think that weekly is the trouble, possibly. I still in my gut, it tells me 3,562. Because we had this pattern consolidation since 2020, it seems hard to believe we're not going to back test it after a volatile breakout. But, you know, I've seen stranger things. And then Bitcoin dominance, we're waiting. We're waiting to see if Bitcoin dominance ends up making this play up. It is massively oversold in the weekly. Hasn't been this oversold for this long in some time. It even surpassed when it was oversold here for July into September. It might be pretty equal right now, but it's not done yet is the difference. July into September. Yeah, I mean, this could end up getting into October very easily being way oversold. And most times when it does this, it has a nice bounce back. So I would expect, and we could come down to the 200-day first, no doubt about it. But I would expect some kind of retest of that rising channel that we broke down out of. I put 60.2% in the title because that's the first area, but 62.7 is where it could actually end up going to. So I don't want to skip over that or act like that's not a possibility because it definitely is a possibility. So what does that mean for XRP? XRP, pretty much the same thing. Right now, it comes down to the shorter time frames. Can we hold 260? It's like 261 in real time now. Overall, but we've still got below this pattern where we could back test 291 on a push up. And ultimately, our biggest problem is we're still within, this pattern consolidation right here. So first area support's around 267, resistance, like we were saying, that 291 area. Get above this and you can start pushing out. Need to get above 306 and ultimately push up to this first big area, which is going to put you somewhere around, like, I know it's not going to be 330 after we break out of this because that's a pivot point. But if we maximize this, it'd be somewhere around 370. And then we can start pushing up much higher. But look at it. Just coming up here in the 3 hourly, massively overbought again. Coming up to the 3 hour rejection and a death cross. 4 hourly. Coming up. Still got room though. Still has room. Daily's oversold. So definitely a lot of room for some noise there. Maybe that is how we push back to that resistance point again. Weekly, leaves some to be desired. But I'm looking more at the overall market spin. What is the total crypto market cap telling us? Well, the total crypto market cap is telling us to brace. Brace. Not a daily, massively oversold. Massively oversold. Weekly, mediocre. Monthly, still pushing up. So there's opportunity. We don't know when exactly. Monthly is pushing up in the others. Weekly in the others is where I'm very concerned. And the others is everything outside of the top 10. So disallowing Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, USDT, Tether. I think Chainlink is either 10 or 11 Solana. All of these other ones you got to disperse. And that's massively overbought in the weekly. Like, to an extent, I don't remember the last time crypto outside of the top 10 was this massively overbought. It's probably back here in 24. Into the new year. And then what happened? We had a huge tank job. I mean, this isn't... If you're asking me, this is pathetically built right now because there's no volume. If we had any kind of volume, it wouldn't be stretched out like this. Daily leaves a lot of room for an optimistic push back up to retest. But who knows? Who knows how far it can possibly get her, or if the weekly ends up pushing out first. So there's a lot to watch here. A lot to watch in the others. And I believe it speaks pretty much the same in the total 3. Weekly, massively overbought. Huh? It's not showing what? I'm not surprised. Here, let me reset this. That's YouTube shadow banning me from seeing my own damn comments.
I think it's because you have top messages, not all.
Oh, it switched to top messages? Where does it say that?
Very top.
That says top fans.
No, underneath live chat.
Oh, it says it did it to that. Interesting. Mr. T with the big nuts. Ha, I love it. Lonzo says, I believe they're drawing down the market to bring in the spot ETFs on a low price. I don't disagree with that. That's what I thought was going to start happening myself. Couldn't you see a big market-wide correction here of about 30, 40%? In totality, I know we've already come down like 15. But I want to see the total crypto market, or the total 3. Yeah, I want to see the total 3 sitting at 945 billion. I want to see the total crypto market cap sitting at 2.96 billion. And I want to see the others market cap sitting at 289.2 billion. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much to ask for? Because if that happens, we're going to be so happy. So happy. But that's my expectation of where I would like to see things at. I really would, because we're too overbought here. It's too obvious. We can't maintain, because we don't have catalyst. Like gold and silver being overbought, we have catalyst. We have money that's going to be printed in quantitative easing shortly. We have the rate cuts that are going to go deeper into effect as this end of the year and next year go on, which is more bullish for crypto as well when that starts happening. Not right now, though. You can't just give us a quarter basis point rate cut and say we're all good. It doesn't work that way, and that's why we were so confident that we were going to go down here after rate cuts. But this isn't going to last forever. I stress it as much as I can. This isn't going to last forever. Eventually, it's going to be the uptick. I still would like to see Ethereum hit down at 3,500, 60 level, or what is it in real time if we come over here? I don't think it's 3,700. I think something's wrong there. This isn't lined up properly. This got moved. I can say you can't fool the person who made the chart. You might be able to fool the people who just look at the chart, but it's hard to fool somebody who actually made the chart. That's why I encourage you, do your own analysis. Yeah, there you go, 35.40. Do your own analysis and see if it lines up with what I'm doing. I encourage you to join Tom's Army if you're watching now or after. Pay the $9.99. Pay it forward. More people than not are not in Tom's Army this morning. And get into the exclusive Telegram. I've been doing this since March 24th of 2021. I've never charged a red cent for my content. And I never will. And I don't even put ads on during the live itself. I turn the ads on after the live ends. So if you want encouragement, if you're watching this after and you're like, I hate these ads, well, watch it live. I do no ads during the live itself. Because I don't want anybody to have to watch that stupid shit while they're trying to learn. But I have to have the lives on during my video output so that they'll actually somehow have people recommended to it. Plus, I got to make a few cents per video. You know, it's a lot of time. So, it doesn't seem like a lot making $2,000 a month on YouTube, but it's something. You know? So, you got to at least have your revenue so that you can keep doing what you're doing. Are we going to crash with October 1st government shutdown? When was the last time we actually shut down, or do you think they're just going to raise the debt ceiling? And you know, you want to know an honest truth that they won't tell you? The national debt is near 41 trillion. Do you want to know a truth? 41 trillion is not what the government's in debt. That's what they owe us. Let that sink in. The government has stolen $41 trillion from its citizens by form of inflation and devaluing our dollar and what we have to our name. They've stolen they owe us $41 trillion. So no, we're not going to have a government shutdown. They're just going to raise the debt ceiling like they always do. We go through this every 6 months. Government shutdown looming, blah, blah, blah. And then they just raise the debt ceiling. That's like having a credit card and saying, I have a $10,000 credit limit. It's at $10,000 and now they're going to raise it to $20,000. And somehow that's okay because now I have another $10,000 of credit left. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So just remember, every time they raise the debt ceiling, your dollar is even more devalued and gold and silver is going even higher. So I don't expect them to shut it down at all. I think crypto's in a great spot as well, John, for mid-November. I really do. I think it's going to follow the historic trend. By November to mid-November, we're going to start to go parabolic again. By Christmas, we're going to have the Christmas dump when everybody thinks the pump's coming. Jolly Santa's going to drop its coal on us like it does every year. Everybody's opening their Christmas gifts while their portfolio is getting drained. It happens every year, and then by the first to second week of January, we hit that top again, and then we consolidate for 6 to 8 months. This year could be a little different with rate cuts. We could get a parabolic movement into Q1 and 2, which is what I've been aiming for, but we'll see. I think emerging markets, gold and silver and commodities, mining stocks are going to do fantastic in 26. I think emerging markets could steal the show. Even though they're doing swell this year, I think they're going to steal the show in 26 as further inflation and devaluing of the dollar comes into play. Crypto, depending on where you buy it, is going to pay dividends. It really is. Just a lot of people are buying it too expensive. Like I always try to say, don't buy the dip that's not the dip. A lot of people have bought this market since the dropping in January, but that's not the dip. You can't buy it after a parabolic spike and say, I'm buying the dip. It doesn't work that way. If you want to start buying IOTA, you know, now you can be like, hey, maybe it is starting to dip. But here's the problem. Going into 24, IOTA was at here, 11 cents. I couldn't pay you to buy it. IOTA gets up here, and everybody goes ballistic, and they start buying it. Hey, it's down to 50 cents after all. Look. After all, we're down 13%. Here, let's do it better. We're down 24%. I'm buying the dip, guys. We're down 1/4, and I would say, this isn't the dip. You're buying the dip just to wait for the actual dip. Now from where you claim to buy the dip at down 25%, it's down 67%. Good job buying the dip, but now you're down 67%. Uh-oh. I don't believe that's what buying the dip is. I don't think that's buying the dip. I think that's exit liquidity. being disguised as cheap buying the dip. Now, you very well could make out in it, but wouldn't you rather buy the dip at 16 than 63% ago? I'm just putting it in perspective. You're getting a 63% deal after the 24% drop from the cycle top in 25. Put that in perspective. XD or IOTA is down from the peak of 25, 73% right now. Oh, you think that's something? IOTA's down. That means you're getting at 27 cents on the dollar right now from the start of the year. From its bull market peak, the top, you're getting it for 5 fucking cents on the dollar right now. 5 cents on the dollar for IOTA. If you would have bought it at 271 back in 21.2. And there's people that hold it at that price. And they're looking at us saying, I can't believe they're debating at 16.5 cents when I bought it at almost 3. That's where all of altcoins are right now. But I'm XRP Future Millionaire. I hope you had a great morning with this live. I'm going to go to the farmer's market and get this part of the stuff done. Good morning, Florida Attorney. I hope you all have a beautiful day. I'll put more comments out here, more content as well. So, Tom, come January after you sell out, where are you looking to allocate possibly next? I didn't say I'm selling out. Selling out what in January? I'm not sold in. No. I'm not selling out in January. I expect that to be a parabolic spike zone. I'm not selling out in January. If I'm back in, that wouldn't be the time to sell. I don't know what I'm going to do after that. I don't need to sell out of anything in January, actually. Emerson. But what I'm looking at is I'm trying to figure out an allocation into oil right now, into some of the explorations, but they're like penny stocks, so it's impossible. I'm sorry if I didn't clarify that. I'm glad you asked, Emerson, so I could clarify. But I'm looking at, I'm already in emerging markets, but I'll be allocating more starting in January, 7,000 more for the calendar year of 26 into my emerging markets fund. I do 7,000 a year. This is my second year that I've allocated. And I started in October of last year because you get to write off the bottom line of your taxes. And I self-direct all my trading, so I don't have anybody asset managers. But you still pay a management fee in the emerging markets fund because they are pulling in and out of different things. It's just a lot cheaper than having an actual manager at a financial institution. But anyhow, we'll continue the discussion later. I encourage you, join me over on WEEX. It's in the video description below and our pinned comments. I'll be doing copy trading there when I'm ready to buy XDC. I wanted to do IOTA there, but you can't do copy trading. I'll buy IOTA there as well. But I'll probably copy trade XDC. And I'm going to do one other one that not a lot of people buy, but I'm not going to talk about it right now, but it is part of my master plan. So you're going to be in my master plan one way or the other. It might even, yeah, you're just going to be in it one way or the other. And I still encourage BitUnix if you can use it. The USA, they're actually trying to make a play to keep us in the USA, but it's still risky. If you've already signed up, you can still trade. But they're trying to put some stuff out. But until they change the terms of services, I'd be careful. What I do is I send the money over when I need it, buy something, and send it off of there. If you want a futures trade, do it in the moment. You can also do it on WEEX. It's almost apples to apples with pricing. So just pay attention to it. I got to go, though. Everybody be blessed and have